All right, so we're working on the Mega Cab again today. A couple weeks ago, rolled over 60,000 miles, so doing the 60,000 mile service, which is front and rear diff, transfer case, tranny, and air filters, and a couple other miscellaneous small things that I'm not going to go into. This video is going to be about what I'm using for the G56 trans, which I am going to give the Hot Shots Diamond G56 oil a shot and see how it runs. Currently, factory fill from Mopar is ATF. That's what they recommend. You can do your own research. There's a lot of back and forth. Mercedes is the manufacturer for the G56. They recommend a 50 weight oil. 50 weight oil that they recommend really isn't available in the States, and it's really hard to get, and to cross-reference it to something else, nothing is quite the same. If your truck's under warranty, run the ATF and don't mess around with it. If you're outside of the warranty period, run something else. If you want to run ATF, you can. I'm going to give this stuff a shot. My opinion, ATF is a hydraulic oil, because essentially automatic trannies work off of hydraulic pressure. I think of it more of a hydraulic oil, not as a lubrication oil. You got gear mesh, you have bearings, you need some heavy duty, style of lubrication oil, and that's what I'm hoping that this Diamond G56 oil is going to do. We're going to give it a shot, give it some miles on it, and I'll let you guys know how it is. A lot of reviews back and forth on it. We'll see. So we're going to get on the truck and just start off by draining the oil out of the tranny. All right, so up underneath the truck you have the drain plug here, which is a 14 millimeter. I already went ahead and cracked that free. So 14 millimeter Allen, and get your drain pan underneath and let it rip. Factory fill, I believe, is 6 quarts. So you just gotta make sure you have something big enough to hold 6 quarts. And there we go. All right, so I'm filling this through the shift tower. It's a lot quicker. It takes 5 minutes to get to this point versus however long it's going to take you to try to pump this or pour this into the side of the tranny. I'm going to overfill by 1 quart. So the plan that I'm going to do is, I got my funnel propped up. I'm going to dump 1 gallon in straight, drain plugs in, and then I'm going to take the fill plug out of the side. I'm going to fill it up until it overflows out of that, and then I'll measure out 1 quart of the oil and add that in, and then button everything up. If you want to see how to get down to this point to get your shifter off, take a look at my B&M short shift install video. That'll show you step by step how to get to this point. So we're gonna start by dumping oil in and cross our fingers that we don't make a mess. And also, this stuff has kind of like a maple syrup smell to it. It's kind of interesting, to say the least. And I'm also filling this up from the driver's side. Driver's side of the shift forks. And the reason behind that is the fill plug is on the passenger side, so this way all the oil is going to want to run down the driver's side, and hopefully when the oil comes out of the passenger side, it's actually the fill line and not just the residual oil that's going down the side of the wall comes out. So that's 1 gallon in. We'll go underneath, we'll pull the plug out, and I'll probably just do 1 quart at a time, just so I don't make a crazy mess and waste a bunch of oil. So I put 6 quarts in. So I got a quart container, I filled it up twice and put it in. Factory fill is 6.2, something like that. So I'm pretty close. I'm gonna pull the fill plug out. Again, it's a 14 millimeter. Depending what you have for an exhaust and stuff like that, you may need to cut down your socket if you're using a socket to fit, or a wrench. So just as a heads up is that on my old truck I had to cut down the socket, but I already had it for this, so it's already loose. Take it out and see where we're at. Okay, nothing came out, so we are close. Let's see if I can touch it. Yep, so I can touch it. So it's pretty close. I'm gonna put another probably half a quart or so in there and see if it spills out. So it's flowing out of the fill. Probably put a little too much in, got a little overzealous, but it's all right because got some leftovers. So we're gonna let that finish dripping out. We're gonna measure out 1 quart and put it in after we put the fill plug back in. So I got the jug, I got a 1 quart bottle and the vise holding it with a little funnel. There's 32 ounces in a quart, so that's 28. I just filled it up to that corner. It doesn't have to be exact, and that's what I'm using to measure out 1 quart at a time. That's it. It's the last quart. So we're gonna get this all buttoned back up, and then I'll give it about a week or so of driving it, and that's when I'll wrap up the video. Really just it's more of a informational video. I'm not telling anybody to go out and use this oil by any means. It's your truck. Use what you feel is right for it and what you feel is right. It's up to you. Same with the overfilling. It's not a necessary thing. If you do your research and you feel like that is a good idea to overfill it by a quart, then overfill it by a quart. If you say that, you know, if it was supposed to be overfilled by a quart from the factory, then the fill plug would have been up where it should have been. There's nothing wrong with that mindset either. So we're gonna get the shift tower bolted back up and rest of the interior put back in place and go for some test drives, drive it this week, and follow up later. So, unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the footage of me reviewing it after the fact. So, just going to have a couple random videos thrown up here with a little voiceover. But generally speaking, pretty pleased with the Diamond G56 oil. The gear rollover noise is definitely drastically reduced than what it was with the factory ATF. It's still there. It's always going to be there. It's a manual tranny. There's gears rolling around in there, so it's going to be part of it. It is a lot easier to shift in and out of gear. I did notice that right off the bat, pretty much compared to the factory ATF. And I don't know if that's just kind of like it had 60,000 miles on it. It was starting to get, worn and deteriorated. And now it's just there's new oil in there and it feels a lot better. So time will tell on that. But overall, it's pretty good. I would have liked to get some different temperature readings of before and after with ATF and without, but unfortunately, it's not something that we did. But overall, yeah, pleased with the oil. I would definitely buy it again. I've got around 8,000 miles on the truck since I put the oil in now, and no issues at this point. So that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, let me know, and we'll see you later.